Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am Tom Downey. We're talking recruiting on today's show. We're going to begin with Xavier Sabb, the five-star athlete who probably going to be a receiver. We have mentioned him briefly in passing because I don't think it's an accident that Alabama went out and added Amari Sabb, his other brother, along with Keon Sabb. There's three of them in the high school/college football recruiting world. Two of them are at Bama. Now the next one is Xavier. I think the Crimson Tide in a pretty strong spot to potentially land him. He's the number one ranked athlete, probably be a receiver this upcoming cycle. Number 24 overall, all based, by the way, on the 24/7 Sports recruiting composite rankings. All the rankings you see here on the show are the composite side. Number one ranked in the state of New Jersey. On 3 reporting, Bama and Oregon are the top two programs for Keon Sabb. There are others as well. Tennessee has been kind of viewed as one of the finalists on that front, along with Notre Dame, who were heavily involved in the Amari Sabb recruitment. Bama beat them. Georgia, USC, and Texas A&M. I do think a chance to play with your older brother would be pretty cool if you're Xavier Sabb. Now, that would go a long way towards, I think, the goal for the Crimson Tide of having the number one ranked 2027 recruiting class. If you want the Crimson Tide to be able to pull that off, show it by liking today's video, please, and thank you, because who doesn't want to have that happen? Let's keep going with some more recruiting updates here. First up, Jaden Upshaw, the four-star wide receiver at Elite High School. One of 7 finalists the Crimson Tide are for Upshaw. Some official visits that we know of for him. And these will be updated, of course, as things go along. Long way away. Alabama, June 4 to 6. Florida, June 11 to the 13th as well. Upshaw's other finalists here, Auburn, Miami, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and USC. But it does seem like the Crimson Tide are in a really good spot to potentially land a key recruit at, frankly, going to be one of their biggest areas of target in the 2027 cycle. Here's what Upshaw told On 3 about Alabama. You know Bama is Bama. The history says it. The history itself says it all. Who wouldn't want to play for a program like that? But overall, meaning on his junior day visit, had a great day, had an amazing time with the coaches, and, saw a couple new faces, but they all showed love. Upshaw is number 79 overall in that 24/7 Sports composite rankings. Out of Georgia, which certainly seems noteworthy that doesn't want to stay in state. Not everyone does, by the way. Sometimes you want to go to a new state when you're going to go off to college there. Number 15th ranked wide receiver. That receiving core is going to be a huge area of focus for the Crimson Tide. In theory, they're going to lose Ryan Williams. They have to kind of add multiple high-end talents, I think, is their plan/goal. Overall, big picture here. What is your confidence level in Alabama's recruiting? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1, the low end, you got no confidence. You think he's Husky Harsin, which has clearly not been the case. 10, he's better than Saban or as good as Saban. Also maybe not true, but they've done a pretty good job recruiting-wise. Let me know the pinned comment of today's show. Let's go to one of the 5-star offensive linemen here. That's Maxwell Hiller. He had said Bama and Florida, per On 3, are quote-unquote pretty tied for him right now. Does kind of seem like the Gators are making a strong push here. The visit start dates for Hiller among his 4 finalists. Alabama in May, kind of an earlier one compared to these other ones. Tennessee, June 12th. Florida, June 19th. Ohio State, not finalized exact timing there. You would maybe try to get that in. There's a gap between in the early June timeline and later June timeline as well. Here's what Max said about the Crimson Tide. Just these relationships I have there and the development pieces they do there. I have a couple family members that go there. My cousin goes there. My dad's grandfather went there. Overall, just a great spot with a bunch of great guys there. I saw they played freshman offensive lineman this year, so that's big. Also some other recruit friends of mine like Alabama too. Always fun when you had a chance to go play with your buddies on the recruiting side. Also funny that a Pennsylvania guy's got multiple family members down at Alabama. But hey, you know what? Whatever works out great for the Tide. 5-star, top 10 recruit, by the way, in Hiller. Alabama has very much overhauled the offensive line. They're not done doing that. I think they've shown a willingness to put the young guys out there. If you're an offensive lineman, you're in your top 10 recruit in the country, number 1 ranked interior offensive lineman, you're probably trying to find a way to early playing time. If Bama can, give him a chance to show he can earn that, gives him a chance. But I do think Alabama and Florida are the two main programs to watch out for here. New deal alert for you guys. This Alabama quarter zip, which with the hoodie, by the way, which I think looks fantastic. I think it's a very fun design, is 30% off at chatsports.com/BamaQZ. I'll put that link in the comments section and the description of today's show. I'm always a big fan of the quarter zips. I'm also a big fan of the new designs of like throwing a hoodie on there because why not? Comfortable, looks fantastic as well. 30% off. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It's chatsports.com/BamaQZ. Bama's done a nice job adding an impact tight end seemingly every cycle, it feels like. But Malik Howard, the 4-star tight end, Alabama also very much in the running here again, per On3, our friends over there, in terms of the recruiting push to land Howard. Top teams here, Alabama, Miami, and Tennessee. Is worth mentioning, by the way, that Howard is from the state of Tennessee. Not that there's not a good track record of the Crimson Tide going in behind enemy lines in the SEC and poaching away top-end talent. I also would wonder if you're Bama, you're like, look, we use our tight ends more than maybe Tennessee has in the past. Number 188 overall, 10th ranked tight end. Also of note here, outside of being top 8 in the state of Tennessee, still a while, is probably going to be a key element on that front. Those are the top 3 teams that were standing out. I know Notre Dame is also involved here. They had the January visit, the Crimson Tide did. So too did Tennessee. We've passed the 37K mark here on the Alabama Football Report. Appreciate every single one of you who are subscribed. The next goal is 38,000 subscribers. Hit that sub button. We'll have more recruiting videos. We'll do the defensive roster breakdown for you guys as well within the next week, I'd say. Hit that sub button if you haven't already here on the Alabama Football Report. And let's hit some defense since we've ignored that on today's video, which they've actually, I think, done a good job early on here. Tvaris Harrington listed Alabama as one of the finalists to land his services. We have a couple visit dates formally set up. Michigan in March, by the way, coming up next month. Georgia, June 5th to the 7th. Alabama, June 19th to the 21st. Nebraska, also among the finalists there. The exact date timeline there, still TBD. Couple of notes here for you. On Harrington, 4-star, again, 24/7 Sports Composite. Number 137 overall. He is listed on the composite as a corner. He's also listed at 6'3", so he could end up being a safety. We'll call him a DB. It's high school to get to college. There's a decent amount of position changes that tend to happen. Number 6, by the way, in the state of Illinois, which, again, no Illinois, no Indiana on that list necessarily right now either, but Bama always able to go nationwide to try to get some top recruits.